Hey, what is going on YouTube? What is happening, guys? My name's Johnny. You've tuned into Rules for Rebels, and we're going to be doing kind of a weekly crypto update. It's been kind of a wild weekend for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. A lot of times Bitcoin will rise, and it'll bring all the altcoins up a little bit with it, but we've seen a big rise in alts. Bitcoin's up, Bitcoin Cash is up, so I just figured we'd kind of do a recap. Just kind of give you some of my opinions and a price target, and we'll kind of go through my list. If there's anything that I'm not watching that you think is interesting, that you think I should be watching, or that you'd like me to maybe look into and comment on, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below, and I'll add it to my Blockfolio watch list here. I had a couple cool ideas for things I was going to do. One, I was going to throw like $500 into a different account just to start from scratch and see how high we could run it up and kind of document the process. The other thing I was thinking about doing was throwing like $1,000 into a new account and basically playing kind of a game where it's like trade with me, I share the profits with you, and basically we use the comments to allow you guys to kind of select the positions that we're going to take, and then any gains, we'll cash out monthly, and I'll share with you guys through giveaways and things like that. So if we start with $1,000 and at the end of month one we're at $1,500, I'll split the gains with you 50-50. So I get $250, you guys get $250 that I'll give away through giveaways or whoever picked the tokens or the coins that wound up going up, etc. But let's get right on into this. So Monero, let's take a quick look at Monero here. 24-hour low is 161, 24-hour high is 175. Do I think this is a buy? I'm not a huge fan of buying coins at all-time highs. Also, I was kind of a bag holder for a while with Monero. I bought into Monero at 130, 140. Yeah, I think it might have even gotten up to 150. Then it crashed down to, I don't know, as low as like 80 or something, and took quite a while to come back. So that kind of scared me off a little bit from Monero. I think Monero is a great coin, as we've talked about. I think Dash has better marketing. I know they're not direct competitors, but I do think Monero is a buy. Dash is at $600. Bitcoin's at closing in on 10,000. Monero is a privacy coin, which is kind of what Bitcoin was intended to do from the start. So I think Monero still has a long way to run. I wouldn't expect this to like double overnight or anything like that. But if you want to start dollar cost averaging into Monero, I think Monero is a good buy. Stellar Lumens, man. I got into Stellar Lumens when it was really, really, really cheap. It's up to about 5 cents, which I know a lot of people are like, 5 cents isn't that high. Well, it's not that high. I've heard there's some rumors of maybe a partnership with Visa. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I was thinking about throwing like $100 into it just because it'll get you quite a bit of coin. And, if this can run up to 80 cents or something like that, awesome. XEM, NEM, I've always liked this coin. I am still holding this coin. It just never really does that much. I believe it is in the top 10 of coin market cap. I want to say it's at spot 6 or 7. I'm still sitting on some that I bought in a little bit higher. I think I'm sitting on coins anywhere from, 30 cents down to 18 cents. It's been even lower than that. Really like the project. Have always really been bullish on this one. I don't know that I'd advise other people to get into it, but I may get into it, try to ride it up to 30 cents. Vertcoin, I was messing with Vertcoin back at 50 cents. At $1, I thought it was too high. At $1.50, I thought it was too high. At $2, I thought it was too high. And obviously, it ran up, I think, even higher than $6 a while back. But I've been kind of scared to hop in. I have heard some rumblings that Coinbase may be adding some altcoins in the future, in a maybe not so distant future, and Vertcoin is maybe at the top of the list. Whenever a coin gets on Coinbase, it gets a huge bump. Heck, whenever a coin gets on Bittrex or really any new exchange, it gets a huge bump. I know Navcoin just recently hit some Korean exchanges and is getting a little bump. We rode that one from like 80 up to $1.28. But Navcoin, within the past week, I think you could have caught this at around $4. I would say under $5. I think Navcoin's a buy. Steam, I'm sitting on a lot of Steam. I used to like to trade Steam a lot, right? Steam would pretty predictably go from like, 105, 110, 115. You could run it up to 135, 145, 155, sell out. Within a week or two, it would crash back down to 105, 110. You buy it again, ride it back up to 135. And even though these are only 20 or 30 cent swings, percentage-wise on such a cheap coin, that could be 10, 15, 20, 30% gains. So anyhow, I bought into way before the forks happened. I was buying into Steam all the way down from, I don't know, maybe 120 down to 80. Didn't really feel like waiting for it to come back, so I wound up powering up my Steam account, I don't know, to the tune of maybe about $2,000. And I figured that'll help me earn a little bit more on Steam. And I think all the money that I can earn on Steam, I think rather than powering up, I'm going to leave it sitting in Steam dollar or Steam until it gets to something decent, and then send it on over to Bittrex and trade it for Bitcoin or something else. Litecoin, is up a little bit. Litecoin's another coin I used to be bullish on. I've said time and time again, not a huge fan. Rise, I'm not a huge fan of the long term of this coin, but man, for the longest time, you could catch it at 20 cents, 24 cents, ride it up to 50 cents, let it crash back down. Under 30 cents, I may get into Rise. 30 to 35 cents, probably not interested. Let's see, Redcoin. I wound up selling off my Redcoin position. I may buy back in Redcoin again. It's the social sharing coin. They're going to be coming out with something called the Red ID. I've talked about it before. Basically, I can donate money to a YouTuber or a Tumblr user or whatever else, and I can send it to their social media handle. And even if they don't have a Redcoin account, if they sign up a year later, those coins are waiting for them. That's kind of cool. Qtum, I owned a little bit of this. I sold it off on the run. I honestly don't know that much about the project. 10x, I was really kind of down on 10x. 10x had kind of lost me some money in the past. Recently, when it was down, I don't know, $1 something range, I picked some up, rode it up to like 250 and cashed out. Oh My's Go, man. I kept saying to myself, Oh My's Go was undervalued at $7 or even $8, and we saw it go on a run here recently. Without fail, it always tends to kind of dip back down. So I would say if you can catch Oh My's Go under $8, I think it's a buy. Neo, I used to be pretty heavy into Neo. When it fell down to, was it $15, $20, $19, whatever it was, I was waiting a while for it to come back up for me to be even, took a little bit of profit and got out. I do really like their wallet. Their wallet's really simple, really easy to use. You can stake for gas. And if I'm not mistaken, unlike Nav, where your wallet has to be open 24/7, with Neo, I don't believe your wallet has to be open for staking, which is kind of cool. I do have kind of a price target for Neo at above $50. Probably by the end of the year, if not by the end of the year, by the end of February. So, I mean, Neo's not a bad buy right now. If you can catch it on a pullback down to $35, $36, I like it even better. But I think Nav's a buy right now. Metal coin, I hate this coin. Lost a bunch of money on it. It has been coming back. It did go on a little bit of a run here. I'm not going to touch it. Litecoin, guys, I love Litecoin. Litecoin's one of my favorite coins. I've told you guys before, I always want to hold at least 84 Litecoins. And Litecoin's up to $90. What was the highest? I think we got up to 93. So Litecoin, I think if Litecoin crosses $100, these big round numbers tend to be really big in people's heads. So I think if Litecoin crosses $100, I think it'll start getting a lot more attention. I think the market cap will grow, and I think this coin will continue to run. I have a price target for Litecoin for $300 by the end of 2018. Lisk. Let's talk about Lisk. So back in mid-October, when Lisk was, trading between maybe $4.40 and $5, I had told you guys, here's a coin that's going to triple up by the end of the year. I said at least double up, good chance it's going to triple up. Lisk went on a nice run, right? I want to say it was like over $20 or $20, over $10 for a minute, or flirting with $10. It's been sitting a little bit lower. It'll go on little runs of a couple dollars. I'm not as bullish on Lisk as I was a little while back. They pushed back the rebranding. They didn't meet the target for the SDK. I think that stuff should come out before the end of the year. But I'm not as enthusiastic about Lisk as I was before. I think we'll say below 750, I think Lisk is a buy. Otherwise, I'd kind of stay away from it. Any of you guys who bought in back when I said it was a good coin to buy back in October? Any of you guys who got in at $4.50 or even $5, if you can ride it up close to $9, I would at least take some of your gains and jump out. If you want to sell it all and move on to something else, I think that's not a terrible move. But nonetheless, you made some money. Golem, don't really follow it anymore. We won't talk about that one. Feathercoin. So I remember Feathercoin back from the early days of cryptocurrency. It was one of the first coins out there. We're talking back like after Bitcoin, Litecoin, etc. It was one of the earlier coins. I don't really think it's that unique of a coin. I don't really think it has that much going for it. To be quite honest, I don't know a ton about it. Although recently it's kind of caught a little bit of popularity. I was watching it at like 10 to 12 cents, 10 to 12 cents. And again, I know 2 cents doesn't seem like a big swing, but on a 10-cent coin, it's like 20%, right? Anyhow, Feathercoin shot up to, 30 cents or something like that. If I can catch Feathercoin, I'm tempted at 23. If I can catch Feathercoin around 20 cents, I may buy in. At the worst case scenario, I can probably run it up to 24, 25 cents and make myself a quick 20%. I do think this coin may be able to run up to 60, 70, 80 cents. Not super bullish on this. I have to do a little bit more research on it and kind of see what the market thinks about it. Feathercoin's definitely been on my radar. Factum, I'm staying away from Factum. I do have a price target for Factum for, say, $30 by the end of the year. But I'm just not that excited about it. The market cap isn't where it should be. I think they have too many coins out there. There's some issue with the number of coins out there. So I'm staying away from Factum. But I do have a price target of, say, at least 25, maybe $30 by the end of the year. Ethereum, I think Ethereum topped 500 the other day. Really great. Ethereum and Lisk had been sitting low. I've got a decent amount of holdings in Litecoin and Ethereum. I forget how many Ethereum tokens are out there. It's more than Litecoin. So I don't know that I'll be able to be a member of the millionth club like I am and will be with Litecoin. But excited to see Ethereum on a run. I have sold off a little bit of Ethereum and Litecoin on these rises just to take a little bit of profits out. But I think Litecoin and Ethereum both have a good ways to run. I thought I had sold my Bitcoin Gold the other day, but my limit order never actually hit. So last night I went back in. I think I sold my Bitcoin Gold for about $374. Here's my plan with Bitcoin Gold. If it drops below $200, I'm buying. Otherwise, I'm not looking back, and I'm glad I sold it. I don't really think Bitcoin Gold is going anywhere. I have a buddy who's really bullish on this one, but I think Bitcoin Gold is just going to continue to slide. When it first forked and I accessed my coins, I was like, you know what? I sold off my Bitcoin Cash early. I think I sold some for 600, some for 300. I said, I'm not, now it's at 1,700. I said, I'm not going to make that mistake again with Bitcoin Gold. It's free money. I'm just going to sit on it. And, seeing some of these other alts and stuff rise, even if Bitcoin Gold does wind up at $1,700 a year or two from now, the way I look at it is opportunity cost. I'm losing out more by having money stuck in Bitcoin Gold than I am going to gain by sitting on it and waiting for it to gain some credibility over the next year. Bitcoin, let's talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was up to 97.54, a low of 89.80. A lot of people are asking me, like, is it too high to buy into Bitcoin? Should I still buy into Bitcoin? I have a lot of people like, a lot of people who maybe had never even heard of or never really been interested in Bitcoin. I say, hey, I'd like to put $5 into Bitcoin. Or I'd like to put $20 into Bitcoin. And for those people, I'd encourage you not to. The fees associated with buying and stuff, if you're buying $5 worth of Bitcoin, it's kind of like, what's the point? If you just kind of want to be part of the movement, I guess cool, go do it. But $5, even if Bitcoin quadruples in value and goes to $40,000 overnight, your $5 turns into $20. Like, it's just not anything to get that excited about. If you're going to throw some money into Bitcoin, throw at least $100 or something. But obviously, it's not going to get you a ton of Bitcoin. But that's kind of one cool thing about Bitcoin is you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy fractions of a Bitcoin. I'm probably not going to be. I normally dollar cost average into Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. I'm probably going to turn off my Bitcoin buy. I don't want to say it's a bubble, but I do think just the fact that it's running up so quick. And I think in anticipation of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange trading the futures here on, I think it's either December 10th or December 14th that's going to start. I think we're going to see a healthy pullback to maybe as low as 7,500. Probably more likely 8,600, something like that. But I do think a pullback in Bitcoin is coming. That doesn't mean it won't run till 11 grand before that pullback happens. But just go in cautiously. Bitcoin Cash, it was kind of flirting with $1,000. I think it dropped down to $900 and something dollars, back up to $1,600. a couple weeks back, we had people kind of manipulating the price and things like that. I'm not into Bitcoin Cash. I don't really follow it that closely. And I believe BTC is the true Bitcoin, so I kind of don't really like flirting with an altcoin that's trying to steal the name. So I'm not really involved in that one. Batcoin, Basic Attention Token. This is for the Brave browser. I've held this coin for a long, long time. I think I was getting it at about 24 cents, 20 cents, something like that. It fell down to, if not 10 cents, maybe 12, 14 cents. And it's taken a while to come back. It's back up to 18 cents. I still would be down on my position. I've actually sold mine off. I do think they have a nice browser and stuff, but it's just, people just don't seem to be loving the project. People don't seem to be loving the coin. I think it's not a bad buy if you're looking for a long-term hold to throw some money into. Yeah, it's not a bad buy, but I mean, you're not going to make huge gains on this one anytime soon. ARK, I think there's some interesting announcements coming out about ARK in the coming weeks. I don't recall exactly what they are. You've been able to buy ARK in the past in the past week or so for, I want to say, under $3. So I'm going to say I have a price I don't think ARK's going to really run before the end of the run a lot leading up till the end of the year. I'm going to say a price target for ARK about $4.50 by the end of the year. By the end of 2018, I'm going to say this is going to be like a $7 to $10 coin. So there are some gains, but I don't think they're going to be fast gains. And if you can pick up ARK at $3 or below, I like it as a buy. Ardor, I'm loving Ardor. I've been into this one for a while. I would say if I get it at 31 cents or lower, I think it's a great buy. I think this coin has the ability to run up to a 70 or 80 cent coin in the near to midterm future. We'll say potentially by the end of the year, if not within about 3 months. I think it's going to be about an 80-cent coin. And I think the buy price is, say about 30 cents or under. I would get into this one. And then lastly, Aeon. Aeon, I believe it's a privacy coin that's kind of meant for mobile. Interesting coin. Again, this is another one that you can pick up around $3. Not a bad one to swing trade, as you can see in the last day. We ran from 3 up to 379. I would say if you can get this coin under 310, I think it's a buy. By the end of the year, I have a price target of this coin of $5. And end of 2018, I think this is an $8 to $10 coin. So I guess that is that. As far as any other interesting crypto news, so it looks like a judge is going to be siding with the IRS on the whole, does IRS have to turn over Coinbase records from 2013 to 2015? Looks like a judge is going to side with the IRS, so it looks like Coinbase will be turning over records. I imagine a lot of you guys weren't even trading during that period. I was trading during that period, but just the timing of when I got in, I actually bought in, rode Bitcoin up to the high of 1,200 and saw it crash down to 100 and something. So I didn't make a whole lot of money during that period, even though I was involved in Bitcoin during that period. And I wasn't going in nearly as heavy as I was years later. So I think I may actually have some losses from that period. I will be paying taxes on my gains. If any of you guys are wondering how to do that, Coinbase does provide a report. If you keep all your coins on Coinbase and do all your trading on Coinbase, it's actually pretty helpful. They'll help you figure out your capital gains. If you send coins off of Coinbase, either to a Bittrex, a hardware wallet, an Electrum wallet, etc., anytime you send coins off of Coinbase, Coinbase considers it a sale. In terms of how the reports work. I'm not saying that they're going to report it as a sale to the IRS, but that's how their reporting works. So it kind of throws off your numbers if you move coins over to a hardware wallet and then back to Coinbase and then over to a hardware wallet and then back to Coinbase. There's another program called Bitcoin Tax. I think that's probably the best one out there. We're heading into tax season. I believe there's 2 licenses you have to pay for. One from 2013 to 2016, and I believe there's a 2017 edition you'll have to buy. It'll probably wind up costing you less than $100. But it will accurately figure out your capital gains for you. There's another site out there called cointracking.info. I noticed it wasn't. I was having to tweak a lot of things. Right, it wasn't accurately tracking my cost basis. I found that with cointracking.info, as well as there's another one called AltPocket, I believe it is. Not bad for kind of helping you import some stuff. But it wasn't 100% accurate, and I had to make some changes. So I think I'm going to go with Bitcoin Tax this year around. But yeah, pay your taxes, guys. I mean, eventually, just like PayPal, just like your brokerage, just like anything else, all these exchanges are going to be required to, you know, send out 1099s or whatever, and you're not going to want to be in trouble or owing back taxes. So just pay whatever taxes you owe. Let's see, what else do we got going in the crypto space? Again, you know, most of you guys probably heard about the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I think that's going to be sometime between December 10th and December 20th. I want to say I heard the 10th or the 14th as a date that trading was going to start. Aside from that, I don't really have any news, anything interesting. I jumped on 2 HYIP, high yield investment programs, or whatever you want to call them. Recently, I did Laser. I've already gotten my initial investment back in Laser. I actually reinvested it as opposed to cashing it out, which I initially said. And then there's another one like BTC Hash or something like that. I threw $50 into Litecoin there. These are, in my opinion, Ponzi schemes, but everyone keeps talking to me about them. I figure, you know what, I'm going to give them a try. Either lose my money and be able to come back and definitively tell you it's a scam, or maybe I wind up making some money. And, you know, even with Ponzi schemes, the early people make money. That's why Ponzi schemes work, because somebody has to make money to go tell their friend, hey, I made 12% a day with this program, and then their friend gets in and they do the same thing. And it's only when it gets too big that they have to stop, that they can't pay people out anymore, that they siphon off too much money themselves, that they can't pay people. So some people in Ponzi schemes do make money if you get in at the right time, make your money and take it out. So again, I tried 2 HYIPs, again, Laser and BTC Hash. I may make a video kind of showing you guys those. But yeah, that's really all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I will check you guys out on the next video.